So there is a guy named Tom. He started a blender company named Blendtech. Although the product was great, but no one really knew about his company. Tom hires a guy named George for marketing. George started not with $50,000 but a mere $50 budget. George bought a few marbles, golf ball and a rake. He put Tom in blender in front of a camera and had the blender crush the marbles into white powder. Tom's intuition was right. People loved the video. Later on, they made videos of crushing the latest iPhone and other weird things using the blender and called them Will It Blend series. The company's sale increased by more than 700% after the Will It Blend series videos. After doing a research on different famous products, videos and articles, Jonah Berger showed his 6 principles for viral products and services. He calls them steps. Together, these 6 characteristics combined can make any product or service being shared by people. So moving to the first principle, social currency. There is a place in Philly where they sell a $100 cheesesteak, unlike other cheesesteaks which are available under $5. This $100 cheesesteak place, Berkeley Prime, has been really successful. The major factor that led into its success was social currency. People share whatever makes them look good. A $100 cheesesteak makes you look cool. You post stories on social media. You talk to your friends about this place that sells a $100 cheesesteak. Jonah believes that word of mouth, that is people talking about an incredible product, has more effect than simple advertisement. You may have seen people talking about the latest episode of Game of Thrones because it makes them look cool. The next principle is triggers. I'm sure most of you might have heard the song Friday by Rebecca Black. When the song was first released in 2011, many critics dubbed it as the worst song ever. But what made their song so famous? The answer is trigger. Every week on Friday there was a spike in viewership of the song. If the song was about school love or anything non-recurring, then after initial spike there was no trigger to make the song a hit. As Friday happens every week, the song receives a strong trigger that contributed to its success. So the main crux is how often does your product or idea is reminded to people, and you can make it a success by giving a strong trigger. The third principle is emotion. Think of the most viewed and shared videos on YouTube. They are not the most informative videos, but they mostly contain something emotional. So if your article, product or video arouses excitement, awe and amusement, it's more likely to be shared. Anger and anxiety also make people share something. The emotion which people don't like is sadness. The fourth principle is public. The main idea of public is what everyone else around us is doing. Ever notice the direction of Apple logo? At first the Apple logo used to face the owner of the laptop. That was easier for the user to orient the laptop after you got it out of the bag. But Steve Jobs wasn't satisfied by it, as it was upside down to everyone else around. He wanted the logo to be flipped. Public image for Apple was more important. Jobs realized that seeing others do something makes people more likely to do it themselves. This is the principle of imitation. People often buy a new car when their neighbors do so, dress the same style as their friends, and more likely to quit smoking if their friends quit smoking. The fifth principle is practical value. It is to actually provide the users what they actually need. If you have eaten corn, you may have noticed the pesky thread strands that always seem stuck to the corn. There is a 68 years old guy, Ken. He has been eating corn since he was a child and knows a simple way with just one pull to remove all the strands from the corn. His daughter-in-law, seeing this for the first time, was so impressed that she made a video of him doing this trick. The video was a boom. People started sharing that with one another. The simple reason of the success of the video was that it provided practical value to the viewers. The last and sixth principle is stories. In 2004 Athens Olympics, a guy named Ron dives off the edge of a 3-meter springboard into a pool. And guess what happened? He belly flopped. His stunt, the fool in a pool, story was all over and people were talking about him everywhere. GoldenPalace.com was written on his body when he was performing the stunt. Story was a hit, but advertisement attempt was a failure. The reason was that when people narrated the story to their friends, there was no mention of GoldenPalace.com. Now look at another story I described in the start of the video about blend tech. Notice that product is an integral part of the story. You cannot tell the story without the blender. When at coffee shop, talking to a friend, you will not mention about a blender with high quality steel blades because technical information is also boring. But you might talk about a blender that crushes an iPhone. What we learned here is that how can our product or service be a part of a cool story? All these 6 factors need not to be included in every product or service, but a combination of them are quite effective. To get this book, there is a link given in the description below. Like and share this video with your friends. Subscribe to Knowledge Guru for more awesome content.